Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a pro Dota commentary done by Luminous. Wow, it's been a while since I've said that, and I do apologize if you guys have been waiting for a long time, but I am back to do yet another pro commentary for you guys. This is TnC versus Mineski, as you can see on the screen, and I'll quickly introduce both teams if you guys are not too caught up with the C scene. And speaking of C scene, I'm interested to do a little bit more replay commentaries from this scene. As you might know, I live in Hong Kong right now, and a lot of replays that or actually a lot of the live things that I cast is a lot from China and from C. But since the TI, I haven't actually been casting C games, so I don't want to get too left behind, so I'm going to do a little bit of replay cast for you guys, partly as kind of like knowledge and research for myself, and hopefully partly for entertainment for you guys as well. And of course, I always need more practice, so doing it for that reason. But let's actually get into the introduction. Let's talk about the teams that you should be a little bit more familiar with. It's TnC. We saw them at TI. I think they had a little bit more of a disappointing finish. They were very, very dominant in the C region. It was like TnC atop, and then like no team was even close to TnC in terms of their level last year going into TI. You got 1437 playing on the 5 position. Tim's playing on the 4. Samh playing on the 3. And then Cuckoo and Raven kind of threw off the 1 and 2 position, with Cuckoo most likely playing mid, although they do swap it up from time to time. They haven't had any roster swaps. I do believe they removed their coach, but apart from that, that's it. Like the players are still doing the same. Now the strategies are very different. If you guys watch him under 1437, they've been doing a lot more aggressive strategies, and we'll see if it's going to pan out here against Mineski here today. Mineski, this is a newly formed team. A lot of names you should recognize. Let's start things off here with the carry player Moon. It's not Moon Meander. This is actually Nana, which is I want to say a household C player now that you should be familiar with. He's been around in the scene for a long time now. But the name that you probably should know a little bit more about is Mushi. Mushi and Nana, they're going to be swapping off in 1 and 2 position, with Mushi playing more of the mid lane. Stand in the question mark, this is Ice Ice Ice. So yes, this is a return of Mushi plus Ice Ice Ice. Good old buddy from the DK days. And then on the 4 position, we got Jabs, which we saw back in Faceless when Jabs and Ice 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 was playing together. For the last couple months of Faceless, they moved Jabs from a 1 position to a 4 position, and he performed a lot better there. His Earth Spirit was really good. And looks like he's going to be playing nice soccer today, so expect a lot of Jabs, and looks like he is the drafter / captain, or at least, well, captain of strategy. I'm pretty sure Mushi and Ice 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 will be the in-game captain once we get there. Last but not least, Ninja Boogie, the workhorse of C, the 5 position support that nobody respects except me. I love you, Ninja Boogie. Yeah, he generally, I think his best hero is Crystal Maiden. Plays a very self-sacrificial role, but he kind of excel in very, I want to say, high impact heroes. So if for whatever reason they put him on like a 5 position Nyx Assassin or a 5 position Tusk, I think Ninja Boogie plays these heroes extremely well. Ninja to me is actually a 4 position player trapped in a 5 position. I think I said position like 8 times there, but alright, that should be enough introductions here. In terms of the recent strength, Mineski's been red hot. They're currently, to me, the #1 teams in C. At least when they first came out, a couple weeks, they were playing like they were the best teams. We don't know if Mineski is currently in a honeymoon period, which is common when new teams do form. You know, the first couple of weeks, like, yeah, man, let's go practice, let's go wreck some kids, and they play really well. Moving forward, what is important is to see how they kind of continue, you know, 2-3 months down the road, see how well they're playing then. And for TnC, well, honeymoon period has been long over. They didn't win TI, so but they did choose to stick together. We'll see how they tend to perform here. Alright, with all of that out of the way, I do apologize spending like 5 minutes talking about the region, but I wanted you guys to get all caught up. I'm sure some of you guys aren't really following the C scene closely, and now hopefully you're somewhat interested to follow a bit more. Okay, Spiritbreaker and Nature's Prophet is going to be the first 2 selection here for TnC. We're going to see Samh on the Nature's Prophet, and then most likely we're going to see Tim's playing that Spiritbreaker. I do miss seeing Tim's play the Earth Spirit. He's definitely one of the best Earth Spirit players in the C region, but looks like he won't be playing here today. 1437 will select Dazzle for himself, so I really can't tell what the TnC strategy is from the get-go. It seems like they just want to make sure that you do well in the lane stage. Spearbreaker and Nature's Prophet, one of the strengths that they are, well, they're really strong laners, right? Like great base armor, could get around the map. Same thing with Prophet, you could make Treants to harass supports. But the beauty of these two picks is that even if you lose their individual lanes, you could just be like, alright, we lost the lane, let's just help out mid or the safe lane. Because they're so mobile. So TnC is going for a relatively safe strategy. Moving forward, what they really want to do is make sure that they have a Diffusal Blade buyer. Necrofalls is an insane hero. If you don't have a guaranteed way to stop him from using that Ghost Shroud, you're going to be in a bad spot, especially moving forward when you don't have a ton of magic damage. Speaking of magic damage, they have like practically nothing right now. MP has the Wrath of Nature. I mean, maybe he can get something like an Orchid. Probably will get an Orchid against Necrofalls. But unless he goes for like Dagon, which is a build that we haven't seen in a long time, Ghost Shroud is going to wreck them pretty much every single fight. So moving forward, I'm expecting TnC to pick up a Diffusal Blade carrier. Something like Morana is a very popular pick nowadays. Juggernaut wouldn't be too bad as well. But we'll see. Mineski. Alright. 4 position is probably going to be a Night Stalker with a mid Necrofalls. The strength of Necrofalls, and I think the beauty of Necrofalls, and the reason why we see Necrofalls so much, is the fact that he could go any lane. You pick up Necrofalls first phase and he could go safe lane, mid lane, and off lane. I think he is best in the mid position because he's so annoying for the mid laner. And you definitely want the solo levels that the mid lane provides you. Getting that quick level 6, well, pretty much every what's the word? Every breakpoint, I guess, for Necrofalls is very important. And what I mean by that is your level 6, 10, 12, 15, 18, and 20. Obviously, for 6, 12, and 18, your ultimate level is up, which is great. But your talents are also very insane as well. Level 10 Necrofalls gets, I believe, a 40 damage talent, which helps you last it like a champ and, well, hit harder in fights. Level 15, I do believe you get a stat bonus, or was that level 20? At 15 or 20, you get a stat bonus, and on the other level, you either get Magic Amp or Magic Resistance, which you kind of... Yeah, I'm pretty sure levels 15 you get stats, and then level 20 you get either Magic Amp / Magic Resistance, and you make the decision depending whether you want to survive or you're feeling like you're relatively ahead, and you want to get more damage. So, the reason that Necrofalls is, to me, a great mid laner is because he wants that experience. He wants to get those very key levels and impact the game. Alright, so this looks to me like a relatively... okay, so when Enchantress was picked, I was like, okay, well, this is going to be a offlane Enchantress, or some sort of a core Enchantress, because we've been seeing a lot of core Enchantress out of the NA region, out of the C region. But then they picked the Nyx Assassin. Now, this isn't to say that the Enchantress won't be the offlane, but I think it'll be very greedy. Both Night Stalker and Nyx Assassin wants a bit of experience. Especially in Nyx Assassin, you'll want to hit level 6 with that hero. But knowing what I know about Mineski, which is that both Ninja Boogie and Jabs, to me, are 4-position players. So it wouldn't be too surprising if you see, like, Ninja Boogie, for example, playing the Nyx Assassin. Remember what I said earlier, is that Ninja is a very kind of high mechanic skill player. And if he does pick up the Nyx Assassin, to play him as a 5-position Nyx, which is normally very, very hard to do, I think he could pull it off. But we will definitely see. If this was a year ago, I would never make that claim, because Enchantress traditionally has been an excellent 4-position hero, or even a 5-position hero. We saw Ake back in the Alliance late, play a lot of 5-position Enchantress, roam around, do a lot of work, stuff like that. But recently we've been seeing a lot more core Enchantress, and I wonder if Mineski is caught up in all the hype and rage. Haven't mentioned this so far, but Dazzle is picked, quote-unquote, as a counter to Necrofalls. You see that Reaper Scythe flying in, you could just pop a Grave on him. Later on, Dazzle could also buy a Glimmerscape, and you could kind of counter the Necrofalls pretty hard in that regards. So far, in terms of the draft, I think I prefer TnC a little bit more. Wait, hold up. I didn't really mention this either. We got an MP and a Bat Rider, which is both only one of the offlaners. So I'm expecting we're gonna see some sort of offlane MP and a Bat Rider mid, which I haven't seen for ages. The last time I saw Bat Rider mid was like S4 playing it when he used to play mid, which is
10 seconds remaining.
God knows how long ago. Alright, finally we're gonna see a Mirana pick. This is gonna be a safe lane. And speaking of safe lane, we're gonna see Terrorblade being selected. So a couple of questions left to be answered. Looks like we're gonna see a MP mid and a Bat Rider off lane instead. I mean, I think both heroes could play mid / off lane just fine. But I guess MP uses the levels a little bit better. I think they could both farm relatively well. And in terms of the Mineski pick, Mushi playing mid as per usual. Alright, Nana is going to be playing Mirana. Maybe I just call him Moon. At least for this game, right? Moon playing the Mirana. That's Priestess of the Moon or something like that. It is going to be Jabs playing the Enchantress. And we're going to have Nyx. Well, Ice 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 playing Nyx. This is, I think, one of Ice Ice Ice's best hero. I mean, Ice 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 has a ton of iconic heroes, such as the Timbersaw, such as the Tie Hunter, and things like that. And we're going to see Ninja Boogie play a 5-position Night Stalker. This is something I don't like. I think Night Stalker as a hero moving forward, you definitely want to level up your ultimate at least twice, right? Like, extending that Nightfall is very, very important. And you want to be out there. You want to be a pretty tanky force through the mid and late game. It looks like, okay, they just swap back. So it's going to be Ice 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 playing the Enchantress. And then Jabs playing the 4th position. I still don't like the 5th position Night Stalker, but given that they're both relatively greedy, I imagine they're essentially going to help each other out. Let's go back to free camera and let us get the show right on the road. If you guys haven't watched Pro Dota in a long while, this is a pretty common move where supports will smoke and TP out just to guarantee some very decent ward placement. And the nice thing for this is, like, if, let's say, this ward, well, maybe this is a bad example, but let's say this ward, right? See somebody walking by here and place a ward somewhere deep in the jungle. Now you have some extra info and you know where to counter it. So both teams nowadays, it's very common for them to TP out supports to get the wards down early and hopefully break the opposing smoke to guess where their wards are and, you know, cancel it. Alright, let's quickly check out if we got any weird starting items. Looks like the 4th position player, Nyx Assassin, I start out with Boots. And Sam H, off lane, starts out with Boots as well. And Cuckoo, on the mid lane, also starting out with Boots. This is not something you see too often, the mid prophet starting with Boots. As Tim's is going off with a taunt. Yeah, I haven't seen MP mid. I don't know if that's a thing recently, but if it is, I haven't seen it at all. The Treants are going to come in here. It looks like they are looking to contest. And Cuckoo's going to get the rune, I think, here. Heal Bomb's going to come through. Moon, he needs to leap away, and he will. Do we have charge? Yes. Great making of the trees here, giving them vision. Nice slow coming through from Tim's to break that charge. And that'll be it. Alright, hold that thought. Expecting Cuckoo to go mid, but it's going to be Raven go mid, excuse me. And in the safe lane, we're going to see Sam H getting a 1v1 against the Enchantress. Alright. I like this lane matchup much more because with the Metamorphosis and the constant harassment here from Spirit Breaker, he should do relatively good against Mushi. Mushi walks in, tried to take the range creep, didn't get the range creep, and might actually die here. First blood going to TnC. That was a pretty silly mistake because I'm pretty sure with this ward he saw the Spirit Breaker coming in. And walking in to heal the creep wave under Raven is going to be relatively rough. Does pay dearly for it. And Mushi's going to eat a little bit more harass. I mean, Raven's going ham right now. Because his meta, well, obviously is a time spell. So when you do have it on, just go ham. Alright, looks like the 4th position players have moved to the bottom lane. There is Orb of Venom on Tim's and a Stout Shield, so he's able to trade much, much better. There's a lot of taunting, a lot of trading. Now let's talk about this particular matchup a little bit more. Enchantress, I think to me, loses this matchup pretty hard. I don't think there's actually anything that he could do to... I mean, maybe he could kill Samage, but I think Ice 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 just need to step back in the lane whenever he is at like 3 to 4 stacks, because if he has 5 stacks, as well as like Firefly on top of him, I think Ice 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 just dies. We see an Orb of Venom pickup. This is really customary nowadays in the off lane. Tim's trying to trade hit against Untouchable, which is pretty impossible to do, so he gives it up, but good zoning so far. And the reason that you pick up that Orb of Venom is that, you know, in this kind of 1v1 lane, there is so much physical harass involved that it adds around, what, 10 to 15 damage to your right clicks, which is pretty impressive. Alright, Nana, the core player, trying to suicide, and oh, this is gonna get off. Very nicely done. I mean, I say very nicely done, still died, which is not so nice. But off to a very good start. TnC kill the carry player once, kill the mid player once. And this is kind of the draft that they want to do, right? Just really early, very aggressive. You have heroes like MP as well as Spirit Breaker. You are expected to do well here. And so far they are. I do expect Sam H to be winning this lane a little bit harder then. But looks like he is so far falling into a level disadvantage as well as a last hit disadvantage. Really needs to force a kill sooner rather than later. And in the mid lane, pretty much how you played the mid-tier play is that you just trigger the Metamorphosis whenever it comes off cooldown, it almost feels like. It looks like we're going to see the Firefly coming in. That is 6 stacks. Going to try to burn him up. Lots of damage. Here comes Jabs. They stun him up. Tower aggro now being drawn on Sam H. Nice spike here. Ooh, but that was a very key hit. And Ice 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 will go down, but taking Sam H with them. Still though, Sam H got the experience for the kill because Ice 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 did go down first. That was what I kind of expected out of the lane. Jabs does have Impale. Gotta be careful here as the Napalm is starting to charge up. Sam H moving forward, he does have Firefly and I think he wants to force a kill, but there is Spike Carapace as well as Impale that he's going into, and Ice 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 is hitting him very, very hard. He just came back in the lane here and it's down to about no HP, but I guess he does have Tranquil Boots, so it's okay. Good thing you could actually tango now. I remember back in the days, maybe back in the Dota 1 days, where if you're Fireflying, you actually can't eat tangos, or you can't eat trees with tangos, because by the time you get to a tree, you just burn up the tree, which I always found very annoying while playing Batrider. But looks like that is no longer an issue. All right, first Nightfall here for Mineski. First Nightfall is like the first date, man. You gotta do a lot. Don't be shy. Go in and get shit done, and that's exactly what Ninja Boogie's doing. Nice Spike Carapace. Sam H should go down. And it looks like Ice 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 picks up the kill.
Healing power.
Looks like top lane. Nana's gonna go down. So you know what? The biggest surprise for me right now casting this game is that I so far haven't missed a single kill. At least I don't think. Been there with all the action, which is pretty rare for me these days, but good to see that camera controls on point, and we'll hope that it will continue to be on point. Tim's taunts as he runs away. Wants to trade a couple of hits here. He knows that MP could come to join the fight whenever he wants to, but speaking of MP, it looks like not. He's dropping relatively low. We'll port back and heal up. So as I mentioned, the Orb of Venom phase boots. It's a pretty common offlane build. We even see heroes like Puck buying it these days. And I think Enchantress will also buy it if he stays in the lane. Looks like he's going for a straight Midas.
The prize is mine.
I like the lane switch here from TnC, or rather from Mineski. You definitely want to avoid a Batrider as Enchantress, and you lane against the Prophet much better, but TnC says no. Gonna do a little bit of swapperoo as Tims drives away Mineski. Maybe they can force a kill here on Ice Ice Ice. Or not. Now the only hero that these days that don't buy the Orb of Venom face boot thing, as you see that the Enchantress stole one of the hold that thought here, mid lane coming in, and looks like we have Terrorblade going down. So Enchantress moved to the safe lane, stole a siege creep from the Radiant side, and decides to push. And then very quickly TnC reacts and kills the siege creeps. If you don't kill the siege creep, you pretty much just lose the tier 1 tower. Very, very quickly. Charge flying through. Is he gonna complete that charge? So far he's completing it. I mean, they see him coming, right? Yeah, Tim's gonna cancel it. Thompson runs away. Yeah, so very good response here by TnC. Prevented the push coming on. And defended the tier 1 tower.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Level 5 picked up 3 points in Firefly. Not something you see too often, but... speaking of the Batrider build, a new build that would come out, we see coming out from the Batrider these days, is the Soul Ring first as a Batrider. Used to rush Blink Dagger, and then the build changed to you rush Drums. But these days, players are rushing the... Alright. Spat that one a little bit too much. These days, players are rushing to Soul Rings, as we see a little bit of fight for the rune. Oh, it spawns bottom. And the reason you get the Soul Ring is that it's like a mini Midas, if you want to think of it like that. Batrider is one of the more mana intensive heroes, especially if you want to use your mana to farm in the jungle. And it also really helps you out in the mid game, because the problem with Batrider is that once you go for the Blink Dagger gank, you blink in, you lasso, you use all your spells, and then you're out of mana completely, and then you just have to go back home. Or you could farm the jungle once and then you go back home. But with the Soul Ring, you get to stay out on the map a little bit longer, farm a little bit more. So yes, it does initially delay your Blink Dagger before you pick it up, but once you do pick it up, it's essentially like a mini Midas, and it kind of fuels your farm throughout the mid game. All right, looks like we're a little bit too fast. I mean, so far the game is very, very even. Mushi is leading in the mid lane over, what, 16 CS? It's actually quite good given the fact that he gave up First Blood, but he is a range hero having advantage there. So no surprise, as we have Samage coming in here. Firefly activated. The Centaur trying to chase down Samage. Ice turns around, will activate the heal and try to out-heal it. They will put the Moonlight Shadow on him as well. Looks like he's going to be fine, but they're charging him. They don't have the Centaur. Looks like the stun was on cooldown. Reaper Scythe's going to come in. Not going to be enough to get the kill, but looks like he will go down regardless. Mushi joining the fight. Here comes Raven as well. He kills the Centaur, but without the Napalm slow, they're unable to actually do too much of anything. Meanwhile, simultaneously, looks like mid lane, Mirana probably landed an arrow on 1437 and was able to pick up the kill. Ice comes around. They lose vision of the... Oh, he's going to just charge out. See ya.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And he's good. I mean, Mushi might be farming really well, but right now I think the critical point is that Mirana is farming terribly. Jesus Christ, this Mirana is not having a good time at all. And honestly, Mirana is one of the really, really slow carry heroes. I mean, what can he really do, right? Technically, you could flash farm with your Starstorm. Hold that thought here, as we have top lane making it go here on Ice. Ice is healing back up, but completely being slowed down, and that should be a kill. Yeah, as I was saying, you could Starstorm farm with Mirana, but your mana pool is pretty ass. And honestly, Mirana needs at least like 2 to 3 items before she could really start carrying super hard. So this is actually looking pretty bad for Mineski. Whereas TnC, I mean, they didn't have nearly as good of a laning stage, but their hero comes online much quicker. For example, Batrider, once he gets Blink, and normally you pick up Blink about 11 minutes, 10 minutes into the game if you have a good game. Terrorblade, whenever he activates Metamorphosis, he could siege at least tier 1s. And of course, I already talked about Prophet, where he could be, you know, pretty much absolutely everywhere. And so far, he's been doing a lot already. Looks like we're going to see a charge happening on the bottom side. Prophet kind of juking out Moon a little bit. The charge is going to come in from the tree. The arrow, okay. they're not going to complete it as Tim's will taunt and move away. Tim's really needs level 6. I think if Tim's had level 6, maybe they have a chance of getting that kill. Looks like Jabs popped out of Invis, but unable to, you know, get the kill.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Top lane, Radiant pushes it or loses the tower thanks to the Ice 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 Enchantress push. And mid lane, we got the meta man coming in. We're gonna see a charge from Ninja Boogie. He's gonna turn around for that slow. No slow just yet. TnC are diving the tier 2 and 3 right now. Darkness is gonna get a trigger. We have teleportation coming in here from Mushi. Mushi just comes out of trees and start going ham. On the back line, Reaper Sight's gonna come out. They get the 1 kill. They might get a secondary kill on Raven. Raven does have Sunder. He will use it. Jabs pops the Spike Carapace. No hit back, but the arrow coming out from Moon will clip through, and they find a secondary kill. That was a Metamorphosis kill, so essentially, Ninja Boog or Raven's out of action for a while. Yeah, I'm not really sure diving a Night Stalker behind the tier 2 tower was a good idea at all. So TnC playing's pretty sloppy here. And they will lose a tier 1. Ooh, I really like some of these really deep wards that Jabs has put down. He has another one. Maybe we could put him mid. But okay, he doesn't. And this ward will actually scout out Sam H's farming. Jabs could just take some experience here. Maybe even go for a Vendetta kill, but looks like he needs a little bit of help from his allies. Oh, he's thinking about going for it. You want Prophet takes down tier 1 up top. There's no way, right, he could kill Sam H. Night Stalker is coming in. Impale's gonna fly there, and we're gonna have the Void. Do they have the Silence? Looks like they don't, but the right click should be enough to take him down. And now the charge is gonna come through. Ninja Boogie will probably go down. No teleport in his actual inventory. Moonlight Shadow is gonna cover the retreat. And Night Stalker is fast enough. He walks out of it. Prophet can't really keep anybody locked down, so he doesn't get a kill. So they dive the Batrider in the jungle. They get the kill, and they make it out safely. TnC is really falling behind. Normally, like I mentioned earlier, standard timing for the Batrider Blink Dagger is around 11:30. And we are 14 minutes in right now, and he's nowhere close to that Blink Dagger. So missing 700 gold. Without this Blink Dagger, they are going to be in a little bit of trouble here. I think the strength of TnC's draft is that you show up with a Blink Batrider, you get a kill, Terra Blaze there to pump the damage with the Metamorphosis, and then you transition into a tower push with Prophet joining in with Wrath of Nature, as well as Treants. So essentially the linchpin of this strategy is the Batrider. They even give him a 1v1, a favorable 1v1 in fact. The Sam H is not really doing too well here. Sprout TP, but the Void cancels in the last second. Cuckoo gonna be pretty much dead here. Yep, that is gonna be the kill on the right side. The Spike Carapace gets Sam H as well. Wait, the Grave comes in just in time, and now they're gonna turn around Jabs. Cuckoo's gonna make it out only to get Reaper Sight. They lose the Batrider, so that's yet another kill on the Batrider. Now they go on Ice Ice Ice, but Mushi on the backline gives a heal to the team, and that means they're gonna get a secondary kill. Mushi picks up a double, and now he's working towards a Dagon. Man, Mushi is ramping completely out of control right now. Veil Dagon into Reaper Side pretty much could solo kill anybody by himself if they're around like 80% health. Ooh, good. Again, another deep ward here. This one might be a little bit too deep. Like, that's crazy deep. But the nice thing of like this ward is that you could actually scout out smokes. So for example, right, TnC, they're behind a lot right now. Down by 6 kills. 4K, your Batrider doesn't have blink, so you don't have really catch-up potential. So one thing that some teams like to do is just like, okay, Hail Mary smoke. And the crazy thing here for TnC is that that option might just get taken away from him. Good D ward though. We'll find this ward. Looks like Moon finishes his first item, Mjolnir, or rather Maelstrom. I've been seeing a lot of Diffusal play first as an item. It looks like he wants a little bit more magic damage against the high armor of Raven. Raven's gonna get found on the right side. Silence. Dagon. No Reaper Scythe even necessary. It was on cooldown. I think Mushi want to Reaper Scythe him, but kind of just died too fast. Which is, I guess, not really a problem. Just unfortunate, I guess. Scan up top. They know that Jabs is here. They find him. They got the Orchid. They got the Lasso. They're gonna get the kill, but did they just kill Dazzle right in his space? Yeah. Just standing behind his tier 1 and tier 2 tower. He's like, how did it see me? Well, this ward. I mean, you normally don't ward this until the tier 2 goes down, but that will definitely pay for itself now that it picked up a Dazzle kill. You know, I don't know how TnC is gonna come back with this. Because the way I see this game is going is that Mineski is gonna just run them down every single tower. Should be very easy now. But hold that thought. Finally, the Bat Rider has Blink. And are they gonna smoke where I think they're gonna smoke? 1437's ping. It's like, guys, let's smoke in the base and let's catch up. And wards win game, guys. Ninja Boogie placing this ward here during nighttime, so it wasn't spotted. I hope they actually saw the heroes disappear from the minimap though, or else, you know, that's all the work done for no rewards. 1437 lead the charge. And the Dire side are being relatively defensive. They're farming the jungle, but it doesn't seem like they are aware that there is a smoke gank. If you know there's a smoke gank, you like stand here, you know, you just play really safe. But looks like they're not going to get punished. TnC completely whiffs on the smoke. In fact, Mirana just farming ultra aggressively. He's like, nah, I got this. Mirana going for Luminousinverse. Alright. I mean, I used to hate Luminousinverse as a build. As we're going to see a charge going through here for Nana. Nana's pretty much dead. He leaps. Oh, maybe not here. This charge not going to hit in time. So it looks like Cuckoo jumped the gun a little bit. And Mirana going to survive as a result. Yeah, so I used to hate Luminousinverse from a core. Because you put like 5k. You know, in an item that doesn't give you any damage. But honestly, Mirana doesn't do any damage regardless. So if it keeps you alive and farming for a while, then I guess that's okay. And your team is doing really well right now. Cuckoo ports in, makes some trees, cuts some waves, and ports back out. And it's not like he went first item Lincolns. He went Maelstrom, which is like an okay farming item. So it's not the worst. I've been recommending this replay, and someone told me that this is going to be a very close and good game, so I guess TnC will start to heat up a little bit. But right now, for me, the way I'm seeing it is that Mineski is dominating all the way. Now, one weakness that the Mineski draft does have is that they're not the best high ground team. In fact, the only way that they go high ground is when Mirana gets like 4 or 5, 6 slotted. Here we go, we're going to see a Lasso gang coming up top, and here comes the Terrible Illusion. They're going to try to burn down Ice. They do, and looks like they're going to look for a little bit more damage. More for Reaper Scythe use, it actually doesn't do anything. Uh-oh. Ultimates are down, the charge is going to come through, the dust's going to fly out. Jab's taking a ton of that damage, good spike coming through on the backline. Tim's taking a little bit more. Moon shows up in the team fight, the right clicks, and the Dagon takes him down. Raven still wants to sight. There's an Orchid coming through. They silence. Good, what a great sprout. Trapping Moon and pushing Mushi out. Do they have enough to take him down? Yes, they do. The last trailing attack of Raven will be enough. A nice Thunder coming here against Mushi as well. Mushi taking so much. It activates a Ghost Shroud. No Diffusal Blade just yet. Blinking forward. Damage going for the Mushi kill. A little bit more, and now turn around. Mushi mans up, and he looks like will burn down to the fire. Good trade, though, for the Bat Rider, and TnC answers right back. They lost a Bat Rider, and they got 4? That was a great fight. TP out. Raven, you make it home. Oh, man. No flying from Ninja Boogie, so couldn't see him around the tree. Let's look at a team fight recap. Excuse me, that was a 2 for 3. Spirit Breaker also went down. Yeah, okay, I guess the Night Stalker didn't go down. But, hey, you traded a 4 position and a 3 position for 3 core kills? That's beautiful comeback here, coming out from TnC. What used to be a 7k lead down to about 5. Still a lot of, or actually, yeah, 7k. Still a lot of work left to do here for TnC. Because they pretty much could only do that with Bat Lasso as well as Metamorphosis. And now they can't really fight. But it looks like Mineski is not really... I mean, Mineski doesn't really have a good draft that could punish them by, let's say, going into Roche. Or pushing a tier 2. So, even though that TnC is operating with relatively long cooldowns, again, it's not like Mineski punished them for having these long cooldowns. Enchantress going for a pretty standard build. We're going to see that Hurricane Pike into an Aghanims for that long-range artillery assault. Uh-oh, Raven though, gonna get caught out. 1437 looks like he's gonna break the smoke on the low ground. Ward's gonna get dropped by Ninja Boogie. They see 1437 and immediately he runs the other direction. Raven gonna pop a slow on the Night Stalker, and now the charge coming in. Nice charge. That might be a suicidal charge. In fact, it will be. Reaper Scythe's gonna claim the kill, but Raven's gonna survive as a result, so not the worst. And now with the 2 support kills, Mineski feels safe enough to go into the Roshan. Can Batrider make a play? Good quick D ward here. Well, they had a sentry, so. Alright. Can Samage make a play? He needs to seal that Aegis. Well, he doesn't need to, but that would be a play. Here we go, Samage. Comes in, sees Roshan, sees it dropping low. The Spike Carapace has been used as well, but they see him as well. They got him stunned up on the right side. It's going to be Terrorblade standing on the front line. Aegis has been claimed. Wrath of Nature gets the 1 kill, and now Raven standing front and strong. What a Sprout, though. Again, grabs 1, traps another. They got the lasso. Looks like Raven's going to stand here and right-click. Got the Enchantress kill as well, so... Well, Mineski did get the Aegis, but that was a very heavy price. They lose the Aegis immediately. They lose Ice immediately as well. And Raven stands strong. Survives. I'm surprised they're able to actually kill Ice so quickly and easily. He has max untouchable. That's minus 80 attack speed. That's like 2 Hyperstone, or Hyperstone and half of negative attack speed, I guess, if you want to think of it like that. But, yeah, I guess when you're right-clicking this S, when you have so many illusions, you're just killing her. I mean, let's be fair, Enchantress has, like, no HP, so. Alright. Well, I'm starting to see why this is a good game. Mineski coming out of the lane stage really strong, but 2 fights in a row, we see TnC answering right back. We do see Mineski holding their 5k lead, but we'll see how long they're going to be able to hold this. They've also been very good dodging these Nyx ganks. And also, this has been like the most effective mid-game Spirit Breaker I've seen. We're used to seeing Spirit Breaker like being a big bully early on. Reminds me like one of those big bully kids, right? In young age, right? In kindergarten, in middle school, in primary school, they're big bullies. And then, you know, they grow out of it because they're good human beings. Hold that thought here as Jabs gonna get charged. They organ him up, they sprout him up, and they surround him again. Ooh, Sam H wanted to lasso, but I guess I was gonna say, did he think that Nana had Lincolns? Well, Nana doesn't have Lincolns. I guess Sam H just had like slow reaction or something. Couldn't grab off the lasso, because if he did, I think that was probably another kill. Right, back to the bully. Right, so Spirit Breaker reminds me like one of those kids, right? That's a bully when he's young. And then he's like, oh wait, actually bullying is not cool. So in the mid game, in your middle age, not a bully anymore. But we're gonna see a lasso drag back on Mushi. Mushi gonna get brought down. So this long-winded metaphor and story to say is that Tim's is still a bully. He is in his 20s, and he's bullying kids right now. Because he's like just charging from awkward angles. Also, the Spirit Breaker giving vision for Prophet to TP in with the Orchid is really nice as well. But TnC with the 2 kills and the activation of the Metamorphosis is going to high ground. Great Force Staff. They charge him back up, and Ice gonna go down. What a play by Raven. Was that his Force Staff? Whose Force Staff was it? That was the Batrider's Force Staff. Alright, Sam H. I call your slow reaction rate earlier on the Mirana kill, but damn, you found the Mushi kill just now, and then you found another kill. And now tier 3 is going to go down. TnC doing extremely well. So shrines now open. When you have a Prophet, when you have a Terrorblade, these shrines are good as dead. And that means that TnC should be able to get the next Roshan. Samage on the way out of the enemy jungle will burn down, well, a camp or two. Man, TnC recovery. That's been on point. Look at this graph. Graph is still catching up here. Well, I think it's time to actually talk about late game scaling, as the mid game is, I don't want to say over, but almost over. I mean, on one side you got Terrorblade, which is one of the most insane kind of core carry hero, and you got Prophet, which isn't really a strong carry hero per se, but gets better and better late game, because when it comes to late game, what is sometimes more important than having the strongest hero is having the most mobile hero. And he gets to, you know, split push, he gets to cut waves, he gets to like snipe couriers and do a lot of sweet things. So on both fronts, I feel like they have the strongest carry, and I feel like they have the most mobile core. I want to say that TnC is very advantaged if they're walking into the late game with, you know, even net worth. With that said though, Mineski still has like Reaper Scythe. In fact, he has Dagon 3 Reaper Scythe, so, and there looks like also finishing a, ooh, I like this choice, a very early Echo Shield. Fuck, what's the Echo Shield item? Lotus. I was gonna type Echo Shield into the thing. Alright, so the reason that he's getting a Lotus Orb is that it's good against two things. It's good against the Bat Rider, but more importantly, it's good against Sunder, because you could reflect the Sunder back. Because right now, Sunder is really allowing Raven to extend himself in these fights. And if you could Lotus a Sunder back, then Raven is actually extremely killable. We got a couple Lincoln Sphere coming out. Now I gotta tell you, the Lincoln Sphere of Terrorblade is gonna be a lot more effective than the Lincoln Sphere of Nanas. Reason being that there's not a lot of really good ways to break Lincolns on Mineski. I mean, it's blocking the most important spell, which is the Reaper Scythe. So they got Lincolns and Reaper Scythe protecting Raven. Whereas if you look at the ways to break the Mirana's Lincoln, you got Charge, which if you cast it, immediately breaks Lincoln from a global range, which is insane. And then you got Wrath of Nature, which also, that bounce will trigger the Lincoln. So TnC has two ways to break Lincolns from global. So honestly, I mean, Lincoln's Mirana is a fine item build, but within the context of this game, yeah, it looks like he's going for Lincoln's BKB, which is, I mean, it's what I call the Pinoy build. It's what they did back in days of Dota 1. It was like Lincoln's BKB every freaking game. Plus, you know, Quap DK. That was the Pinoy meta. There you go. That was Lincoln's broken. And it's like pretty free from Tim's to do, right? He's just charge. I mean, it costs 100 mana, but like whatever. You can stress swap it. Looks like TnC is thinking about pushing high ground. They have Spearbreaker to charge in, and they also have the Prophet TP in. Yeah, so they only need 3 heroes. And now they're slowly, well, they're not slowly, they're very rapidly killing shrines. Roshan's gonna be up relatively soon, so I think the game plan here for TnC is you kill the shrine, and you set up some wards in this part of the map, and you take Rosh, and then you go high ground.
Dire's top shrine has fallen.
Alright, they are thinking about setting up a kill. Japs is going to intercept this charge. You will see it coming. And now? Tries to take a Centaur, but not sure if the Centaur is going to be enough. Wait, nice 2-man impale. They do get the kill, but I think the Centaur stop might set up a kill. The Spike here is going to come in. Where's the Reaper Scythe? Oh, the Reaper came a little bit too late. The Grave's going to be in position. Sandwich might still die to like... Yeah, he still dies to some little extra dot. Looks like Mushi's going to be fine. Or not here as Raven comes in with the right click. They don't have any vision. Now, Raven gonna get spiked, gonna get impaled, and Jap sets up yet another kill. 1437 did not have to save, and they dropped the gem as well. A huge mid-game throw here by TnC. Prophet was unable to get too close to actually get that push off. That was a really critical mistake. So, Raven moved forward, but he didn't have Diffusal Blade, right? Yeah, he doesn't have Diffusal Blade. He queues it up immediately. So, as soon as Mushi went into Ghost Shroud, they couldn't kill him anymore. Also, the gem on 1437, well, he wasn't close enough to be in the fight, so they also didn't have vision on Mushi. So there was no way like they were killing Mushi. And then really good play by Japs. So what happened there was Japs was able to get off a Spike Carapace, which caused Raven to stun himself, and then he lined up the Impale. They kill him, you know, before you could even get off the Sunder. What I'm not 100% positive is whether the Spike Carapace will stun when Terrorblade uses the what's that spell? The one that he makes a bunch of illusion reflections. I want to say that's how he got stunned, because it would be really weird if Terrorblade started attacking Nyx Assassin in the middle of the fight. So I'm guessing that reflection does trigger the Spike Carapace, although that's kind of weird. If I haven't seen that team fight just now, I would say no, it shouldn't trigger it. And now TnC goes for another smoke play. They do have Metamorphosis back up. They see Moon, but he's got Lincoln Sphere, so they need to use the charge to break the Lincolns and then lasso him. Alright. Roshan's gonna get scouted. TnC just stands around the Roshan pit. They don't do anything. Interesting. Now there's 2 gems on the Dire side. One on the Night Stalker, and I believe one on the Nyx Assassin as well. So a lot of map control completely gone just from that one lost fight. The game is still very even, but I think right now it's definitely Mineski advantage, especially if they could control this Roshan pit. That is the one downside. They do lose out on this shrine, so Mineski can't actually port in to fight at the Roshan area. TnC re-smokes right up. You can see how important it is for them to win a fight right now. If you win a fight, it's daytime, so Mineski has a lot less vision from the Night Stalker, and if you get at the Aegis, you could almost guarantee to get yourself a Rax, because I'm not sure what a Mineski could defend against, you know, a Metamorphosis Aegis push from a Terrorblade. You see Mushi. You see Mushi coming out the farm, but he's got a Lotus Orb. Immediate lasso, they found him, and now they gotta immediately kill him fast, and now Raven comes in, right clicks with him, Mushi's alive, he pops up all of the heal. Where's the Diffusal Blade? They don't have a Diffusal Blade. Mushi survives long enough to get off the side, he kills the Terrorblade. Oh no, that's a huge mistake. Tim's gonna take a ton of damage. He pops a Blade Mail. It doesning matter. On the back line, Ice taking a ton of damage. 1437 didn't get off the grave either. He finally graves himself, but it doesn't matter. He's a support. He will go down as well. 3 dead. Make that 4 a Sam H. Looks like he's gonna try to blink away, but that Blink Dagger getting completely canceled. Blinking forward. Jab's gonna secure the kill for Ice. That's 4 dead. And all Koku could do is to split push. I mean, I love the Lincoln's item choice because, you know, one of the best ways to kill Terrorblade is to chain something, but the lack of Diffusal Blade 2 fights in a row is coming to bite them hugely in the butt. I mean, this is something I talked about in the drafting phase, right? You don't have a lot of damage, so you better pick up a huge magic core, something like Lena or something, or you buy Diffusal Blade and kill him, because when you have Ghost Shroud up, you don't kill Necrophos. So maybe going for this Lincoln was a terrible idea. Kuku makes some trees and gonna get a tier 2. Let's see if he's gonna get the last hit on it. Nope. He might go the trees away, but I think going for the last hit or the deny was more critical. TnC botches 2 fights in a row now. And now we're back up to a 10k lead. That was huge. Also, they got Roche, which I did not mention. Cheese goes to Mirana. Aegis goes to Necrophos, which is now a big problem. Because Necrophos, like, never mind Ghost Shroud and him being alive and annoying and stuff. Just by him being on the map is really annoying for a Terrorblade. Because he represents so much single target burst damage. And now, you have to kill him twice, which I don't think it's possible. Early BKB from Kuku. TP is down for like 7 seconds. He's gonna sprout himself, but yeah, he's just dead. So that was a 10-second or 9-second BKB. And TnC also go down, so this game is really back and forth. Just 5-6 minutes ago, I was like, oh man, TnC is looking really strong right now, and then they throw 2 team fights, so. Just to show you how quickly a Dota 2 game can change if you make 1 or 2 mistakes. Finally, TnC does have themselves Diffusal Blade, but I don't think they're in any position to kill Mushi twice. So the best bet is probably to wait out the Aegis, I think. Which, you know, for Mineski, time for them to go push the building.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
TnC is not about to defend this mid tier 2 tower. Just not worth the risk.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Charge gonna fly out. Mineski does not care. Looks like Mineski is setting up some anti-profit wards. Mirana has that butterfly. So remember when I said Mirana isn't one of those heroes that could actually go well and carry in the late game? Or until she gets the late game, she takes a long time to get online. I like her decision to not finish that BKB that she has, you know, queued up earlier instead of going for the butterfly. Pretty much because they want 2 fight in a row and she has a cheese. I think with the cheese, she could delay your kind of survival item. And once you pick up a butterfly, Mirana, you are starting to be, you know, respectable when it comes to a carry. Alright, smoke's gonna come out here from Mineski. Mushi looks like he doesn't want to be part of that smoke, breaks it out. And goes to farm something more. Another gem being purchased by 1437. The man is poor. All he has is like arcane and urns. I think he's bought 2 gems now. I guess I could check. Yep. 13.7 bought the first gem. Did I just call him 1337? I guess he is pretty elite. Bat Rider picks up the BKB, which is really nice against the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin can't just blink at you and spike. Although with that said, man, this Nyx is hella farm. I guess the gem makes it look a little bit more farm. It's like a, you know, fake net worth, I guess. But he's got Blink Midas. That's pretty damn good. And with him sealing away the gem from the other side, he also have complete map control. Surprised to see him not using that Midas. So notice the way that Cuckoo's playing, right? They know, like, he understands that he has no map control, but he could do stuff like this. He just cuts off the wave. And by cutting off the wave, this forces Mineski to walk back to defend these waves. And they don't want to do that. They are ahead right now. They have Aegis. They're up 14k. You know, if this was, let's say, a year ago, when Prophets are not doing sneaky shit like this, what people would do is like, yeah, we're up 14k, we have Aegis, let's just go high ground. But by him doing sneaky moves like that, they just have to, like, wait out the Aegis, essentially. That's why Prophet is really a first phase pick these days. You could do so much with this hero. You could win lanes, which is what we saw TnC do.
Dire are scanning.
He's a strong 1v1 hero because he has good base damage. And in the mid late game, I talked about him being the most exceptional, like, mobile core. And small moves like that are just showing why he is so strong. Looks like he's going for a Scythe of Ice. Alright, that Aegis will trigger, and now Linken's is up on Necro. So now you got Linken's and Lotus Orb? Bruh. Mushi is not dying. I mean, unless you trigger that Linken's and Persian. Alright, very quickly. You got Cuckoo porting in, making some trees, and porting out. Now, even though he is, you know, forcing Mineski back, he's getting out the map. He's the only one that could get out of the map. Look at the rest of the 4 of TnC. They're not seeing any farm. And with Prophet, like, cutting off the wave like this, then, you know, again, they're not going to see creep waves ever. They're going to smoke out during nighttime. This is going to be really rough. I guess Dire won't be expecting it. Double damage. Smoke's going to get broken by jabs. He breaks the smoke, but he didn't blink away. Why did he blink away? I'm not exactly sure why, but he dies and he drops the gem. Alright, that was a great pick. He saw them coming. He hit the stun. Alright. Well, that was a freebie. Because normally in that scenario, you don't get anything done, right? But here's the thing, right? 50-second. Mineski does have buyback, but there's a double damage on the Terror Blade. And he's got BKB, Manta, Linken, as well as Diffusal. I think this is going to be, you know, as strong as Raven gets for a while. Well, he could get the Butterfly, but this is definitely one of his peaks. Walks up, hits Moons twice. Moon needs to go back. Oh, Force Staff him back in here, turns around, but he gets charged. And I do believe that is a kill on Ice Ice Ice. Hold on, I thought somebody finished the kill. Nobody finishes the kill. Buyback, though, triggered on the Nyx Assassin. And I do believe that they will back it up. Pretty good fight here for TnC. They got a buyback out of the Nyx. They got the gem back. And they did a little bit of damage on the tier 3. I think they want the kill on the Ice Ice Ice. A little bit more, but they didn't get it. So once again, Sam H making these plays with the Batrider Force Staffs. Almost kill Ice 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 there. I think if Prophet had, you know, Silver Edge the Untouchable off, then that was guaranteed a kill. But it looks like he wasn't part of that fight. I mean, I say that was a pretty good fight for TnC, but you gotta keep in mind that was kind of a very desperate move, right? They have absolutely no map control, so they're sitting back in their base. And the one time they go out, they did get the key kill, and they got the gem back, but I think they were hoping to get a little bit more. But their Roshan will spawn soon, and well, actually, it will not spawn very soon.
Radiant are scanning.
Scan's gonna see a hero up the hill, and they immediately smoke up. I wonder if this ward actually saw them. Sam H, just like break out the smoke and start hitting it. And looks like this is the longest Roche spawn possible. Seems like it.
Dire are scanning.
Spiritbreaker continue to break Linken's across the map. I just heard Mushi's Linken's triggered. And then Mushi like immediately puts up the Lotus Orb on himself. Expecting it to be like breaking the Linken with charge and having the Batrider coming in with the gank. So Mushi does do the right move, which is putting the Lotus on himself. The hilarious thing about Lotus on yourself is that if you Lotus on yourself and then Spiritbreaker charges you, then you cast Charge, and you charge towards Spiritbreaker as well, which is definitely not the intended effect that you will want. Did Ice 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 just dominate a big centaur and a small centaur and just send them mid? I guess he's like, man, if I dominate the big centaur and the centaur dies, then the kids, they don't have their mother, right? So he just sends the whole family to their death. I mean, at least they, you know, they're not out of position, right? If they're out of position, they're out of position together. Alright, Mineski is going to use their map control advantage and go sit around the Roshan pit. Ninja Boogie, haven't checked his farm for a while, but Solar Crest into Ags? This is Mr. 5 position, right? But team's doing really well. He's part of a lot of kills. In fact, he's 2-0-19? Jesus Christ. They have 25 kills and he's involved in 21 of them. Alright, well. 5 position player, guys. This is the 5 that we all want in our games. Look at how much he's doing. He's buying wards and shit too. Has he actually? Maybe Japs is buying the wards. No, just kidding. Alright, Japs is playing the 5 here. Japs gotta be playing the 5, right? There's no way that you could buy Solar Crest and Axe and still have 4 wards. Alright. I'm sorry, Japs. I gave the credit that you were deserving to somebody else.
Where are you going?
Axe finish up. AC on Enchantress.
Dire's top barracks.
The awkward thing about Enchantress is that she always, it feels like she needs a little bit more attack speed. That's why there was some old meme builds was Mask of Madness. I actually don't even think it's that meme. It's actually a pretty good build. But they have Axe Scepter finished, so check out this vision. Here comes Mineski. They see an illusion. They will dominate it immediately. And Ninja Boogie going up the high ground. Dire is just, or Radiant's just scared, dude. Alright, they check out Roshan, but there's a treant inside, so they could kind of scout it out. Link gets trigger again, so he immediately puts up the shield. And just smoking in front of your
Wait up.
oh, the smoke ends. Smoking in front of your Necro, so he's constantly safe. Now, even though there's a 19k lead here from Mineski, I still want to say that if TnC somehow win a team fight and they take the Aegis, they're okay for the next 5 minutes. Question is whether they could do that. Raven working towards that Eye of Scotty. And they are being very brave right now. Nighttime, half over. But Darkness still has not been used yet, so this is a problem. They're constantly trying to send things into Scout, but Enchantress is dominating them and, you know, sending it right back. Oh shit, Raven just walks in. No fear. Ninja Boogie sees this. Sees Cuckoo as well. Harder going Cuckoo, but now we're gonna see Ninja Boogie being dragged out of position, and can they actually kill him quickly enough? Yes, they can. The charge coming right through. The Impale a little bit late. Can they land the Sprout? Yes, they will. Ice will Force Staff himself back out, but Raven in the front line. They got the Diffusal Blade. Defensive Force Staff left and right here for Ice. Ice gonna go down. They see Jabs. Jabs will blink away. Time to go back for Roche, or do they want a little bit more? Another great spell. The Reaper Scythe on the back line. Looks like they picked off the Spirit Breaker, but it doesn't matter. She's gonna get consumed, but he's still trapped inside this army of Treants here. They are gonna lose another hero. Alright, TnC gets 5k net worth immediately, and they will swing across the river to go right back into the Roshan pit. Don't call it GG yet, man. If they win a fight and if they take Aegis, I think they'll be alright. How did they not see? I'm pretty sure a Night Stalker could see across the river, right? But I guess it's one of those things that maybe he was looking elsewhere, and it saw us as soon as he saw them. It was already too late. So, another thing that Mineski's core could have done, if you're gonna put Night Stalker in your front line and have him in the most dangerous position, and he's your vision machine, you put a Lincoln on him, or you put a Lotus on him. So I think that one, Mushi as well as Nana could have helped out as well. I mean, whatever the case was, TnC had a huge fight. That was a 19k lead cut down to 11. Holy shit, this go graph is gonna spike. And with this Aegis, and you gotta keep in mind that they have open racks up here from Mineski, so now we have a Scotty finish on Raven, and he's gonna save up this. They saw this double damage when they were doing Roche. I think a lot of carry players were like, all right, let's just take that double damage and finish Roche. They're saving it. They're saving it until maybe the last moment, which is 49:59, if they want to save it that long. Raven draws the arrow to actually take the racks up top. And I think this DD is safe for that occasion. There we go. Pick up a DD. And now Raven's out of slots here. Drops a cheese on the ground. What does he want to drop for that Diffusal? I think you're okay dropping the BKB, right? Because you have Aegis. I don't think you want your BKB on your first life either. I mean, sometimes you do want a BKB on your first life if you're like if you see a very good opportunity to pop your BKB to hit people, then you definitely pop your BKB. And I think that's what he's thinking as well. Speaking of BKB, Mirana finishes his TnC. Gonna go right in, pops a Metamorphosis. And now on the backline, Blink Impale will miss. 1437 is going to get Reaper Scythe. Raven taking a lot of that damage out to half HP. He pops the BKB, looking to right click away, trying to kill the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin not going to die. He dies through his BKB, unable to use off his Sunder. On the backline, Samage going to get caught. He eats the cheese. He gets stunned. Spirit Breaker goes down. Moon's going to be fine here. He runs away from the Terrorblade. The Terrorblade, in fact, can't even chase for the kill. They have lost 3 so far. Raven gonna get chased down by Ninja Boogie as well. There's nowhere for him to run. There's no BKB. There's no TP. And he is gonna go down. Treants though, gonna try to take down the Range Rax. Range Rax is gonna drop very low, but not low enough. Oh, Prophet ports in. Oh god. Oh god, Prophet. Alright, he'll try to port out. Nyx Impale. One cooldown. Okay. I mean, that was an Aegis push. And they got blindsided. I think a lot of teams would have been like, okay, they have Aegis, they have cheese. Let's just try to defend in high ground. But I think Mineski just gave them a quick switch around. They just went back here with Moonlight Shadow. And I guess the TnC did not have vision up. which I find surprising, right? They should have at least one gem because they killed Ninja Boogie and took his gem earlier. So I guess the gem holder wasn't in position. The Blink Impale even missed on 1437, but 1437 just did not expect the angle of attack from that direction and just died. Couldn't get off his grave. And now Mineski answering right back, trying to push down a tier 3 and claim a Rax of their own. 28 seconds here till Terrorblade comes back, and even Terrorblade coming back still doesn't have meta for 40 seconds. This game is turning around so much. I mean, I think viewers could be like, oh my god, this game is so much 3-2-2. I don't think it's 3-2-2. I think both teams are making just small mistake. Reaper Scythe and the Grave. Okay, this one came in time. And now on the backside here, and Tim's gonna go down to the long impetus on the front line here. Raven trying to push some people back. They got the lasso, they push him back. They do get the 1 kill on Mirana, but the Aegis, or sorry, the Raxus has already gone down. Jabs walks in here, trying to stun through the core. Did not get off the stun damage. Will get graved again. Looks like he will be fine, but they've lost the melee, and they looks like they will lose the range as well. The siege unit doing a little bit of work against the range. Terrorblade Illusion hitting the range Rax pretty hard as well. And all the meanwhile, they did a good job pushing out the top side, making sure that the Prophet does not rat a Rax. Now we're back up to 23k lead. I guess this go graph is pretty 3-3-2. But Mineski had the early lead and held it since. I really like the item choice coming out of Mineski. And I like the item choice less so coming out of TnC. I think the late diffuser blade on Raven has cost them 1 or 2 fights. I guess that's probably their biggest mistake this game. Apart from that, I think TnC has played relatively well. I guess also not keeping up vision, which is also a problem. Normally, you have a very mobile support that could put vision in the front line for you. And Spiritbreaker technically is that type of hero, but it seems like every time he charges in, it's either too late or when he charges in, he doesn't pop off that dust or something. I haven't really been watching him closely. Alright, Terrorblade gonna just go on top racks, and meanwhile, immediately Cuckoo goes for the mid racks. BKB triggered on Sam H. Well, they might be down a lot of gold, but they're just brute forcing it. Top racks melee down, mid racks open. Well, I'm talking like this game is over, but TnC clearly doesn't think so. They show up, pop the meta, they take a tier 3, they take a racks. I think Mineski definitely needs to continue to make those wraparound moves. And they need those moves to work. Even though Mineski are winning these fights, one cannot forget how dangerous these fights actually are, right? If you lose a fight in front of your base against a Terrorblade, you're losing 2 to 3 lanes of racks. So, despite up by 21k, I feel like the pressure is almost on Mineski, or in fact the pressure is on Mineski. I mean, they're up a full lane of racks? No, they're up a melee racks. Because Mineski needs to win every fight, despite up 22k gold. They're looking for a free and easy pick, but looks like they're unable to find one.
Where are you going?
By the way, this is Ice going for the OD build. It's a very good OD build because OD could blink in, pike somebody, and get off like 4 orb hits, which does a bunch of damage and steals int. Obviously, do the same here with blink, pike, impetus. Mineski looking to break high ground, trying to open up that last lane to Rax. Looks like we have a big smoke wraparound play. If smoke wraparound worked once, would it work again? Here we go. Ninja Boogie on the backline sees some illusion. Lasso is going to find the vision hero, and they're going to try to bring him down as quickly as possible, losing HP very rapidly. Terrorblade chops him down. Terrorblade still in the middle of everything. Samage taking a lot of damage. Samage will go down, but Raven is kind of stuck in the middle. He's not a very mobile hero. They see Mushi. Mushi's going to get brought down. Denied. I'm not exactly sure how. Raven denied Mushi. What? Huh? Doesn't matter here as TnC wins another big team fight. The smoke wraparound play is huge. Ninja Boogie buys back here. They have BOT2s here. And Ninja Boogie brings Mushi back in the fight, moves forward, breaks the Lincolns, pops him up. Reaper Scythe's gonna get the kill. There is no buyback on the Terrorblade because he just bought back. And now the Raxus is open. There is a butterfly on the Mirana. He leaps forward. Took the triple arrow talent, by the way, so no plus 100 attack speed, but it doesn't matter. The Raxes are open. I do believe TnC will lose this game. A roller coaster ride of emotion and gameplay. Mineski gets the triple Raxes, and they will get the game, I think. TnC is not calling GG yet, but they don't have Metamorphosis, or rather Terrorblade, for 100 seconds. Raxes will go down, and the throne will go down as well. 1437 calls a GG. What an exciting back and forth game. And the last ditch buyback from Mushi with the BOT2 coming back in the fight and blowing up Raven too. Dagon to break the Lincolns, Reaper Sight for the kill. Whew. I mean, this game, it was definitely not like world-class Dota where no team makes a single mistake, but it was definitely very entertaining because of the mistakes. I love the smoke wraparound play that we saw Mineski do on the top defense, and then TnC doing right back to them. But unfortunately, they just were unable to close out the game, or, well, bring back the game. My MVP for the game, definitely going to Ninja Boogie. Man, when I check his score, he had 2-0-19 and providing vision. He was caught out the last couple of team fights, especially the Roshan team fight, where he got lassoed by the Batrider, and the last fight where he got lassoed by the Batrider again, but still, he played a hell of a game. Also, Jabs for constantly providing reconnaissance for his team. Doing extremely well. So my MVP goes to the two supports. But that's going to do it here for this particular commentary replay. I hope you guys, or replay commentary rather. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm actually very interested to do more C commentary. Let me know what teams you guys want to watch. I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to see Eternal Envy's Fnatic. They've been, I think, losing a lot of games, but, you know, that's definitely a fan favorite, so I'm definitely considering doing one of their casts. Or let me know if you want to see some of the Chinese teams. The Chinese region I'm definitely very familiar as well. Or do you want to see some Navi? I heard that they're playing extremely well as well. Or some teams like Team Liquid or OG. Actually, we can't watch Team Liquid because Team Liquid hasn't played official yet because they're invited to everything. But whatever the case is, let me know what you guys think. Let me know where I can improve. Let me know what teams you guys want to see so I could do more replay casts for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, and until next time, this is Luminous, signing off. GG, guys.